The 2026 discovery of neurogenesis. For decades, the medical community told us a lie. They told us that you were born with a set number of brain cells, and that from age 25 onward, it was a slow, inevitable slide toward decline. They told us that once the hippocampus, your brain's memory center, starts to shrink, there is no turning back. But as we sit here in 2026, we know that is fundamentally wrong. We have discovered that the human brain is not a porcelain statue, it is a living forest. Through a process called neurogenesis, your brain can sprout new saplings, new neurons, well into your 80s and 90s. But there's a catch. Your brain is efficient, it won't waste energy growing new cells unless it receives a specific chemical command. That command is a protein called BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Scientists call it Miracle-Gro for the brain. In today's 20-minute deep dive, I'm not just going to tell you about it. I am going to show you how to trigger a BDNF flood in exactly 180 seconds of movement. We are going to look at the muscle-brain axis and perform a routine that prepares your brain to absorb the fuels we talked about in our last video. By the time we finish, you'll understand why the way you move in the first 10 minutes of your day determines the clarity of your next 10 years. The muscle-brain axis. Before we move, we have to understand the construction site. When we talk about cognitive decline, we are usually talking about the hippocampus atrophying. This is the part of the brain responsible for creating new history. When it shrinks, the recording button fails. You remember 1975 perfectly, but you can't remember breakfast. In 2025, a landmark study in Nature Neuroscience changed everything. They discovered that our muscles are actually endocrine organs. When you contract your large muscle groups, specifically the quads and glutes, your muscles secrete a protein called cathepsin B. Think of cathepsin B as the courier. It travels through your bloodstream, crosses the blood-brain barrier, and knocks on the door of your brain's DNA. It tells your brain, we are moving, we are active, we need more processing power. In response, your brain floods the hippocampus with BDNF. BDNF then goes to work. It repairs the fraying wiring we called white matter. It strengthens the synapses, which are the bridges where thoughts cross from one cell to another. And most importantly, it takes those raw nutrients from the berries and fish oil we discussed and actually uses them to build new neural tissue. Without this movement, those expensive nutrients are just floating with nowhere to go. You have the bricks, but no construction workers. Today, we hire the workers. Minute 1, the vagus squat, deep biologic. Let's begin the protocol. Minute 1 is the vagus squat. I want you to stand with your feet shoulder-width apart. We aren't doing this for big muscles, we are doing this for a big brain. We are targeting the largest muscles in the body to produce the maximum amount of cathepsin B. I want you to squat down slowly. I want you to count to 3 on the way down. This is the eccentric phase. In this phase, your muscle fibers are lengthening under tension. This is the peak moment for protein secretion. As you sit deep into that squat, you are also stimulating the vagus nerve. This nerve is the off switch for stress. Why does that matter? Because cortisol, the stress hormone, is a BDNF killer. Stress literally dissolves the Miracle-Gro. By squatting slowly, you are flushing the stress poison out of your system to make a clean environment for growth. Imagine that every time you stand back up, you are pushing a surge of growth factors directly into your memory center. Slow, rhythmic, and intentional. Do this for 60 seconds. Minute 2, the cross-lateral reach, CEO activation. Minute 2 targets the CEO of your brain, the prefrontal cortex. We've fueled it with omega-3s, but now we need to sync it. Stand up straight. Reach your right hand across the center of your body and tap your left knee as you lift it. Then switch, left hand to right knee. Why it works: your brain is divided into 2 hemispheres. The left brain controls the right side, the right brain controls the left. When you cross the midline, you force the two halves of your brain to talk to each other through the corpus callosum. This strengthens the white matter integrity. In our first video, we talked about retrieval delay, forgetting names because the wiring is slow. This cross-lateral movement is like a sync check for your wiring. It forces the CEO to manage both hemispheres simultaneously, sharpening your logic and your ability to multitask for the rest of the day. Minute 3, the statue balance, GPS calibration. The final minute targets the parietal lobe, your internal GPS. This is the part of the brain that keeps you from getting lost in the grocery store. I want you to stand on one leg. If you feel steady, I want you to try something that feels simple but is biologically exhausting for a fading brain. Close your eyes. The moment you close your eyes, your brain loses its primary mapping tool. It has to rely entirely on your inner ear and proprioception, the sensors in your joints. Research has shown that balance atrophy is one of the earliest signs of neurodegeneration. By forcing yourself to stay balanced, you are stressing the spatial mapping centers of your brain. This stress triggers the parietal lobe to reinforce its connections. You are recalibrating your GPS. Hold for 30 seconds on each side. If you wobble, that's good. That wobble is the sound of your brain building new pathways to keep you upright. We have now completed the 2026 roadmap for a resilient mind. We learned the 5 signs to distinguish senior moments from real danger. We adopted the 3-2-1 fuel protocol to provide the bricks. And today, we mastered the 3-minute trigger to hire the construction workers. Knowledge is only the first step. To stay sharp, stay curious, and stay independent, you must apply these 3 pillars together. If you missed the nutrition video, go back and watch the brain fuel breakdown now. You need those berries, that fish, and that olive oil in your system so that the BDNF you just triggered has something to work with. Click the like button if you're joining the 3-minute morning club. Subscribe to the Ageless Mind, and remember, your brain isn't failing, it's just waiting for the right signals. I'll see you in the next series.